So the first one, which you referenced very quickly, is stop the Thickians. Alan Williams referred to Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon as Thickians in Thursday's press conference. Just said these guys are the guys with thick lower bodies. They move the pile. They got great jump cuts. They can block. They can catch. They do it all. I think the Packers are going to be determined to establish these two guys early in the game, as we talked about, to set up play action, to get Robert Tonyan involved, to establish a running game, to rely on what they believe at this stage of their offensive development is a major strength for them. The Bears are going to have to find ways to get up there to the line of scrimmage, win those battles, and keep those guys from taking over the game early, right? So that's number one. Number two, I think they need to cast doubt. And by that, I mean they need to make Aaron Rodgers doubt the people around him. The psychological battle is very real this week. If you can get Aaron to think that his offensive line isn't protecting him well enough, if you can get him to think that his young wide receivers aren't good enough, and all of a sudden he starts doing those things that we talked about, that he did against the Vikings, pressing, making foolish, uncharacteristic, un-Rodgers-like mistakes. Now all of a sudden you can get a game-changing play or two that flips the momentum and potentially flips the final result. So that's number two. The third thing is play on script, right? And I think you'd agree with this, that Justin Fields at some point in his year two development is going to have to show an ability to make big plays that are within the playbook, right? It can't always be outside the pocket after pressure gets home and the protection breaks down and you're just running around trying to make something happen like it's the schoolyard. Ultimately, 3 or 4 times a game, you're going to have to make a big play from within the pocket, within the scheme, within the system. Justin didn't do a lot of that in week one. Mike Martz wasn't wrong in that. He was a little bit wrong in some of his other evaluations of Justin's play in week one. But Justin ultimately is going to have to become that player who does things without needing to manufacture things, if that makes sense. And so it'd be very nice to test that out Sunday night under the lights on Sunday Night Football.
Okay, let me give my keys in a moment, but let me make a mental note to send a memo to March that the Bears will be the ones in the white uniforms and the Packers will be wearing green.
Perfect.
This week, just so he identifies the right player on the right team and he doesn't get all confused, because I know apparently that's a problem when he's evaluating quarterbacks. All right, so my keys would be, number one, work the edges. And I mean that with the tackles being compromised with the Packers, for the Bears to win this game, to keep it close, they can disrupt the passing game from Aaron Rodgers if they can get to the quarterback, even if it's a quick passing game. I don't think the passing game can be as quick and effective without the certainty at receiver like it was with Adams and his core behind him. See, that's the thing. The timing is so important when you're being pressured. And if the timing isn't there, you can be pressured and you're more susceptible to that if you're Aaron Rodgers. And with the Bears having really 4 quality pass rushers coming off the edge, and I'm giving Travis Gibson the benefit of the doubt there, but I think him and Dominic Robinson and Muhammad and Robert Quinn,
yep,
they can stay fresh, Dan. They can stay disruptive. And if they can disrupt the passing game, the Bears have a chance. So that's number one, work the edges. For me, number two is simple. It's just protect. That goes for the football. That goes for the quarterback. That goes for the pocket. Protect. Protect the football. No dumb turnovers. Don't lose the takeaway battle again. That it means you have to protect the football and you have to protect the quarterback so he doesn't take unnecessary hits, so he has time to plant and throw. So if he wants to be in time, on time this week, then he's going to be able to do that with a degree of confidence when he drops back to pass. I don't think they need to get too fancy. I think they need to just protect the quarterback. A lot of this stuff, too, can be neutralized if you establish your own running game, because you keep that defense guessing and you don't become one-dimensional. You protect the quarterback, and then you have to protect the football. And the third thing is I just think you have to win the hidden yardage battle. These are the kind of games that the only way it takes me back to, I think it wasn't Lovie Smith's first year, but maybe the announcement that this was going to be a different series was Devin Hester's first year, perhaps, or rookie season, when he was deep in a punt return against the Packers at Lambeau Field. I think it was 83 yards, if I remember right. Watching in the press box, you knew that special teams were going to be something under Lovie Smith that the Bears excelled at. I want a sign. Give us a sign. Win the hidden yardage. Win the kicking game. Do something special that puts yourself in a better position, because you know what? You don't have the roster that the Packers do. You certainly don't have the quarterback that's a matchup, but you can win the kicking game, and that's the only way I see a path to victory, is if they work the edges, protect the football and the quarterback, and then win the hidden yardage with the kicking game.